Can you believe it's been a year since we started the channel? Well, it has. And with that, Glenn and I thought it might be a good chance to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes. If that's something you're interested in, stick around. Well, hi, my friends. We're back here at the IBM Glen where we did our very first video. I thought that would be fitting again. We don't have the snow we did back then, but still a pretty nice day out here. So my overall process or workflow, whatever you want to call it, kind of has 6 stages, phases. I don't know. I don't have an official name for them. But the first one is simply coming up with an idea. And that's something that's constantly jotting things down, or might be something that one of you gave me an idea. I know my friend Melissa gave me the idea for the Onondaga Eagles, and that turned out really cool. And I know I have one on the list from a riddle one of the guys at the Thursday lunch told us, so watch for the spring for the riddle one. So after the idea stage, we move into kind of the concept or research stage, right? So I take that idea and I start to refine it. Maybe I'll dig into it a little bit, like the future stuff. I went and read a book, read some papers, figuring out, what can I do with that topic? What does it really mean? The third stage is preparation, and this involves, trying to sort out what I'm going to say. Now, I don't script everything. We'll talk a little bit more about what goes into preparation later, but just trying to be prepared to go out and actually do the filming, which is the fourth stage. So production, going out, recording, capturing video, and whatever else I need from that perspective. And then from there, we move into post-production, where I do my editing and things along those lines. We'll take a closer look at what I use for that. And then finally, the sixth step or stage is publishing. So putting it up on YouTube, doing whatever else I need to do from that perspective. So the most common question I would get is, who's filming you, Bill? Well, it's not Glenn Dougal. Some of you think it's a drone. I do have a drone, and you've seen that in some shots. But my drone's not capable of tracking me, at least not flying backwards, my drone. So what I use is this very long selfie stick, right? And so I can hold it out like that. It gives me good distance. I can always, in post-prod, crop it down to what I want. And works out pretty well. I can get different angles with this. Now, after a while, it does get a little heavy. I guess it weighs the same no matter how far it's extended, but there's definitely tougher to hold, and probably the physics and physiologists majors out there can explain the mechanics of all that. I'm sure it has to do with leverage, but that's how I film it. Some of you have also asked about the stability. The long selfie stick helps with that. Also, you notice if I'm moving, it's a little bit of an optical illusion. That movement with the depth of the selfie stick kind of hides some of that wiggle from it. With this, I can also do all sorts of other shots and angles. Besides the regular footage, you sometimes see some what we call B-roll or extra footage, and so I'm tipping the selfie stick down, getting my feet walking, right? Different things like that, or up in the air, covering things like that. And so it's worked out really well. This selfie stick also happens to have legs here at the end, if I can get it open. So occasionally when I stop and you see me filming, I'm using this as a tripod out there. It's not the most stable, but it works well enough. And so that's it. In terms of audio, when I'm out recording, you see I have a little wireless mic here which goes to the camera and records that way. Now the wireless mic is not waterproof like the action cameras, and so I won't take that kayaking and some other things like that. I'll just use the regular sound there. But it's worked out really well. It's been convenient. Also helps in terms of if I set the camera down at a distance and I'm walking and talking, it's still going to pick that up just fine. So that's some of the secrets behind the filming of all this. Well, I think for the post-prod and the publishing stuff, we're going to go back into my studio. Now, it's not really a studio, it's just a room that I used to work from home at, and now I have fun at home working on Wander and Ponder. So let's take a look at that. Oh, well, hello. Welcome. Glad you can make it here. Welcome to the studio, so to speak. Let's take a look at how we do some things. When I get a lot of files, recordings, and so forth, I use Photomechanic Plus to process that, or to cull through them, go through them, sort through them. And so that's what you're looking at now. So Photomechanic Plus, this is a folder of about 168 files, maybe 20 gig or so in size total. And so you see it has a thumbnail for each of those. I'd open up pretty quick with this little slider towards the top. I can change the size of the thumbnails. I can go into one of the videos, bring that up fairly quickly and play that with the toggles up here. You can move back and forth between the different videos and works pretty quick. I can also come down here. There's a 5-star rating, so I can rate the videos in terms of which ones I really want to use in all of this. And that little spike buck's a little curious. The other thing is the capability to do some catalog processing. So switch to that up here, and then maybe I come down here and I want to look for Timmy. So Timmy's a little tufted titmouse bird, and so this now went out to terabytes of data I have on a NAS device, and brought in thumbnails of all of Timmy's pictures. And so again, I can come in here and look at Timmy, look at his different pictures. I can sort and do all sorts of different things there. So very powerful. Again, the performance guy in me just loves how efficient it is. So that's Photomechanic Plus. Okay, so once I have all those files picked out that I want to put into this, I'm going to come into Final Cut Pro, which you're looking at now, which is the video editor I use. And then I take multiple passes through here. What I start with is in my timeline down here, I'll just drop in those individual videos, those clips or pictures that I want to use there. So I'll do one pass with that, and then let's zoom in here a little bit maybe. Then I'll take music. If there's a track where I'm going to put a soundtrack behind it, or a video clip, I want to do that like I did in this case with the Eagles. I'll do that. Then any transitions, any titles that I put in there, all that I'll do in another pass. I'll add in Glendugal voice bubbles, put all that in there and run through it a few times. Final Cut Pro works pretty well for me. I'm still learning. There's so much function in it. And then I export it. Just create an MP4. Now, I might create different versions of this. Some of you, and we'll talk about this later on, watch the Instagram. So that's limited to 1-minute clips or less. So I might make a little teaser out of this as well and do that there. So this is probably the area where I've been learning the most about editing. And it's been a lot of fun learning different things. So Final Cut Pro. I know about 30% of you watch the videos with closed captions on. And so I've always tried to be good about creating those. But that can be a lot of work. While YouTube will do it automatically, it's not always perfect, especially with my less than perfect enunciation at times. And occasionally when I use funny words. It does not want to have Glendugal's name be Glendugal at times. Anyway, so I found a program called Transcriber, which allows me to take a video into that, basically imports the video after I'm done with it, and then goes through a translation of it and just creates basically the transcription of it, which allows me to come through here and fairly quickly find any things that are wrong. It will highlight things that are a little bit longer, so I can split them up. And then from there, there's a capability to export it in different types of formats. What I use is an SRT file, which I can then import into YouTube and pick that up as the English translation that I've given to it. So that has cut down on my time quite a bit. Okay, so after the video is up on YouTube, I publish it there, but I've been doing some other things too in parallel to this. One of that's updating the website. Some of you may not know that we have a website, but we do. And so there'll be things there. There's the video index, so every video gets put out here as well. with some things and the links and so forth. Just wanted a common place to have all of it. If I did any new location, I'll add a page for that out here as well on the where to wander. In fact, while I'm here, let me just mention, so places to wander, that's this page out there. I have a little Google map that has all the different locations I've looked at there, as well as this little table and individual pages for that. Also with the videos, I have a topics index down here. So if you remember, yeah, Bill had some video that talked about, communication. Well, that's out here. You can go to this topics page and figure that out. And so a whole lot of other stuff out there that you might want to check out when you get a chance. Additionally, there's the wanderandponder.earth Instagram page. So I don't put the full videos out there because Instagram limits it to reels to 1 minute. But I'll usually put a teaser out there. And in between, I'll put different pictures and things up there, a little bit more behind the scenes kind of stuff. So check that out if you haven't seen that already. Take a look at that. And then I also check out the channel analytics. So I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing overall. It is times, like I said in the Christmas video, I don't always understand what videos do well and what ones don't do well. But I've been looking at that and trying to understand it. And again, thank you so much for all the support. These numbers are great and keep me going. One of the questions I get is, how long does it take to make these videos, Bill? And rule number 4 is, it depends. Right now, for every minute of video, it takes me about an hour to 2 hours. The longer the video, probably the closer to the 1 minute mark it takes. I haven't measured that real closely. You just see a few data points here as I was playing around with looking at some of that. It really depends too on what the video is like. Am I taking one big clip and doing something with it, or is it 100 little pieces that take a lot longer? When I say 1 hour to 2 hours per minute, that includes hiking around and doing the filming. That includes sitting down and doing research and thinking through what to say there. The video editing part is just one piece of that. The website update, depending on how much I've added as a result of that, that can be pretty big. So there's definitely some outliers. So one of the other questions I get from time to time is, am I in it for the money? Do I want to be monetized? And the answer is no, that hasn't been a goal, though I don't want to rule that out. So I've tried to do everything to make sure that I don't prohibit monetization. Is that a word, monetization? At some point in time. But we'd have to cross that bridge when I have the numbers that YouTube would even consider it from their perspective. But in the meantime, we're just going to have a lot of fun. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed getting a glimpse behind the scenes of Wander and Ponder. I couldn't do this without you. You guys encourage me, and you're just fun with all the things that you add in there. So if you've enjoyed this, let me know, give it a like. If there's other questions you have, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear about that. And we'll try to answer those questions as best we can. You all have a great day now. Bye now.
I know that it can be there someday. You've been